We track our financial wealth down to the penny. We check our bank accounts, monitor our investments, and count every dollar. Yet, when it comes to our days, we let them slip away into darkness, entirely unmeasured. Consider the story of a young boy in a small village. He spent his hours wandering aimlessly through the streets, appearing completely blind to the fact that his life was quietly ticking away. His father decided to intervene. He pulled an old watch from a cupboard, handed it to his son, and gave him a clear directive. Go into the market and find out exactly what this physical object is worth. This chart displays the varying offers the boy received from different merchants. One offered 500 rupees, another 800, and a third pushed the valuation to 1,000. Those fluctuating numbers gave the boy an anchor. Human brains are wired to trust things we can touch, trade, and easily replace. We crave a physical price tag to tell us what matters. But that comfort creates a cognitive trap. Because the physical watch is easily swapped for cash, the boy treats his hours as if they share that same abundant, replaceable nature. So the father gave him a second, more difficult command. He told his son to return to the market, but this time he was not allowed to ask the price of the watch itself. He had to ask for the price of the time inside it. The merchants looked at him with genuine confusion. Some laughed and waved him off. Others grew annoyed, as if the boy were playing a trick with a question that had no answer. The market rejects the question because these merchants deal in trades, and you cannot trade a second for a silver coin. Without a way to swap it, the value simply disappears from their ledgers. Embarrassed and defeated, the boy finally stopped at a small stall where an old watchmaker sat working. This man was the only merchant who didn't laugh. This graph illustrates the point. You can accumulate millions, sending the wealth line upward, but the market cannot sell back a single elapsed second. Unlike currency, which is easily earned back, time flows in one non-renewable direction. You lose it, but never re-earn it. The old man presented a clear paradox. Time is constantly burning away, yet we have absolute autonomy over how that burn happens. It is a resource that simply cannot be hoarded in a bank vault or locked in a safe. It is only useful in the present moment, at the exact moment it is spent. Before the boy left, the watchmaker offered one final piece of math. A single day is distributed with absolute identical equality to every person on Earth. Looking at this split comparison chart, we see a stark contrast. On one side, a highly skewed pyramid shows the vast disparity in global wealth. On the other side, an identical grid of 24 blocks represents the daily cap distributed to every human. Since the baseline resource is fixed for everyone, the only variable that separates one outcome from another is the efficiency of how those specific hours are allocated. Seen this way, the boy's wandering wasn't just a sign of laziness. He was effectively burning his only fixed, non-renewable asset with no possibility of a return. The boy walked home slowly, the watchmaker's words replaying as he watched the sun begin to set. That evening, instead of his usual wandering, he sat down and began a small chore he had been putting off for weeks. He began to look at his tasks through a new lens, deciding if the activity in front of him was actually worth the hour of his life he was about to trade for it. Time presents a unique economic anomaly. It is free to acquire the moment you are born, yet it is completely impossible to purchase later in life. And unlike a traditional bank account, you have no option to save today's deposit for a rainy day. You spend it at an unyielding rate of exactly 1 second per second, whether you want to or not. Purpose emerges when a person recognizes they are always spending. The question isn't whether to spend the capital, but what they are getting back for it. Look at your own daily allocation. How exactly are you distributing your fixed 24-hour constraint? Reality is strictly irreversible. Once a moment passes into history, it is permanently locked away from any market, any currency, and any negotiation. We are mathematically incapable of keeping our time. Our only power lies in choosing how to spend it.